Please be seated.
Have the cavalry also escorting him. So they are all just preparing to take their position, and then the official procession will take place. That in your short are the pall bearers. The bearer party, they actually carry the corpse or the casket, yes. So that's the bearer party, and it consists of an officer, a warrant officer, or an NCO, and it's normally 8 bearers, and the rank depends on the person that is being laid in state. And being a high-profile personality, we having only warrant officers, class 1 and class 2, to carry our ex-president. So they are all just shaking up, and then we can officially start the procession. And you realize that the casket is draped in the Ghana flag. That tells you that it's a national burial. If we could recall, during the burial of His Excellency Kofi Annan, when the casket was brought down, it was in the UN colors, and then the UN colors were removed and draped with the Ghana colors. So that is why the casket is also draped in our flag, red, gold, green. And now we have the pallbearers. They will escort the body as it moves. In some jurisdictions, the pallbearers carry the casket. So the pallbearers can play dual role. They can help in carrying the casket or escort it. In the Ghana Armed Forces, the pallbearers will escort it, whilst the bearer party carry the casket, as we are seeing now. and then you have some personalities presenting arms. It's a form of compliment or greeting. In the military, we use the term compliment. So they are paying compliment to our former commander-in-chief, even as the casket is moved to be placed on the gun carriage. Everything has been rehearsed, and so every group in the procession know what they are supposed to do. So these have been rehearsed.
It's a very solemn occasion. It's full of significance and pageantry.
These are some of the unique situations around institutions. If you see situations like this, and you see how orderly it is moved, look at how the casket was lifted, and then look at how
They've even lifted their hands.
their hands. Everything rehearsed, an indication that this is an organized group, and it is so beautiful to see them.
And then they all took off their headgear as a mark of respect
All right.
for what is happening now.
I see that his hat and his sword are still on the casket.
Exactly.
At some point in time, they will be removed, right?
Yes, eventually they will be at the cemetery.
Okay.
So even the wearing of the headgear, even the removal of the headgear, everything is rehearsed, so it's so orderly, so that it looks very solemn and then professional.
So, Kofi, this is about the end
Indeed.
of former President Jerry Rawlings' 73 years of age. This is the beginning of the closure of 73 years. Because after a few hours, when the casket is put in the belly of the earth, it means that he has finished his 73 years. And now the journey is up to from here to his maker.
Then we have the firing party. They are also taking their position at the cemetery. They'll be firing the volleys, the 3 volleys. So they are taking their position, and if you see that they have reversed the weapon. Normally we carry the weapon properly to fight, but we are mourning, so the weapon has been reversed. A sign of no time for us to fight. For now, we are giving every respect and every respect to our former president. This is the police force. They are also adding some gymnastics to the whole program to make it very solemn and then
Entertaining,
entertaining at the same time, even though it's not an entertaining occasion. Yeah. So they just added something to one color to the whole program. Yeah.
I saw a horse that had no rider.
Exactly.
On it, and I'm sure at the right time you will tell me exactly what it means.
Yes, you will do that. And that is a riderless horse, a horse without a rider. You know, our former president loved horse riding. So today we needed to get that horse as part of the procession to tell the whole world that this is a passion for our president that we have not forgotten, that we wish to acknowledge it today. So like you said, at the right time, I'll give further details on that.
So it means that now they have started the journey from here to the cemetery.
Exactly.
That's the horse. That's the riderless horse. Then.
Yes.
Yeah.
That's a riderless horse. Okay, let me say something a little about it. The riding boots have been turned to face backwards. A rider wears the boot and face forward. Okay, now. I would like to go through the order of procession once again. We'll have the escort, we'll have the firing party, the band and the drum, with the body on the gun carriage, with the pallbearers escorting it, and then we'll have the insignia bearers, we'll have chief mourners, we'll have the president's special representative, then we have mourners in uniform in order of seniority, then mourners not in uniform, then the rest, and then we have the rear detachment as well as the motor cars. This is to ensure that every mourner knows where he or she must stand in the procession, to make sure that everything is orderly. So we have the cavalry, and then we have the motorcade by the police, the gun carriage, for the pallbearers, the officers with the sword.
Yes.
The sword has also been reversed. Normally a sword is drawn vertically, but it has been reversed as part of the mourning process. So they are the pallbearers. They are also there to provide extra security as well as escort the casket to the cemetery. And because we are talking about the president and the commander-in-chief, these are high-ranking officers of a colonel, minimum a colonel and above.
Commander Ahin, can you give us a sense of...
Just a minute, wrong. These ones are brigadier generals.
Okay.
Very, very senior officers. So they're brigadier generals.
Is that what you refer to as a one-star general?
That's a one-star general and above, because we are talking about the commander-in-chief of the Ghana Armed Forces.
Can you just give us a sense of the route that they'll take for this procession, which will finally end up at the military cemetery?
Okay.
For those who are just joining us right now, the funeral service is over and there's a procession out of the Black Star Square. Where will they be going?
All right. Listening to the commentary on the ground, there's a slight change, but the original plan that I have here is from the Independence Square through to Osu Castle Road, then the Ridge Roundabout, Kojo Thompson Road to Circle, Nima Police Station, then to Gifford Road, through 37 to Bema Camp Road, Mahama Road, and then we'll branch off to the cemetery. So those are the major streets that the cortege will be moving through before we get to the cemetery.
And what is the significance of this procession through some streets of Accra?
Thank you. You know that our president is the president of this nation, and it's impossible to have every Ghanaian come here. And so the procession is to allow for loved ones, one, to wave and to show their last respect. However, we also have what we call street lining. We'll have our personnel line the street that is going to be used to pay their last compliment to our commander-in-chief. Additionally, our former commander-in-chief also lived in some of these localities. So it's to afford the general public a viewing and also to say farewell to all of us.
It's obvious that a lot of thought has gone into today's ceremony, and it's rich with symbolism and significance.
Exactly. One thing with the military, that every program that we undertake, we take time to plan the minutest